All year round, Frontier Home Products and Design has what you need to make your home comfortable and beautiful. Relax on a new timber tech deck designed by Frontier's experts. A new fireplace from Frontier Home Products Fireplace Gallery adds warmth and serenity to any home. Beauty and versatility at Frontier Home Products and Design Center, 4213 Peachtree, East 5th, next to the Bayfront Highway.
Frontier Home Products and Design Center. Discover a new frontier.
PA contractor number PA039007.
Get paid to drive. Start a new career behind the wheel at the EMTA. If you are looking for a high-paying and rewarding career with full benefits and paid training, stop by or apply online today with the EMTA. Plus, EMTA riders can now enjoy free Wi-Fi on new, clean, and environmentally friendly buses to travel all over Erie County. Visit ridethee.com for more information.
Get on board EMTA. Get on board EMTA. Get on board.
Welcome to TalkErie.com's Joel Natalie Show, Erie, Pennsylvania's daily podcast. Every day, we tackle the biggest issues that the Erie PA region faces. Stay informed and involved as we advance the narrative of Erie. Now, here's Joel Natalie.
I am glad to bring back Jeff Natalie. He is the new Regional Director for Workforce and Business Development at LECOM Behavioral Health. My little brother, Jeffrey.
Joe, it's so good to be here, and I appreciate the invitation. Shaney, have you made Joel aware yet of why I'm actually here?
Is this an intervention?
No, this is
I don't know.
This is a celebration of you, Joel.
What? What are you talking
We
about?
are here to celebrate Joel Natalie and all the dedication
word.
that he has provided to this community. We love you so much,
Let's
Joel.
bring some applause in on here. Yay. I have an applause button.
Oh, okay. All right, I was working
Well,
on
thank you, Jeff.
it. And I mean every moment of it.
Thanks. I mean, yeah, we already passed, 6.5 years. Wow.
Crazy.
And
1 year more than you have voted, Shaney.
She used to vote.
She just didn't get a sticker. They just started getting
just
stickers.
started getting
No,
That's all.
I just started putting the stickers
I love
on
them.
my laptop.
I love
So
them. You're probably
yeah.
a super.
Are you
probably
going to
get
take
the-
over? Just take over the interview.
Let's
What do you
talk.
think?
Okay,
Let's
all
talk,
right, let's
Shaney.
talk, Jeff. You know, what are we talking
I
about?
think Shaney is probably a super voter, aren't you, Shaney?
Oh,
Yes,
she
I-
is. Yes.
Yes.
And this is why I immediately thought, I like her. I like her an awful lot. She understands her civic duty. So I appreciate you too,
Well,
Shaney.
thank you very
Did
much.
you get yourself on the camera, by the way? Come on.
Well, the back of my head is visible,
Okay.
so that's good enough.
I'm
Are you taking it over?
retaking over the radio show. All right.
Reclaim your time.
I'm
Joel.
reclaiming. Yes, I'm
That's right.
reclaiming my time.
Can I have the
love
gavel?
that. Yes. Boom, boom, boom. Just like Josh Hawley. Hey, Jeff, what does it mean to be a regional director for workforce and business development?
You know, what a great question. The cool thing about this particular role. So, as you know, Dr. Hansen is the president of LECOM, but to distinguish her specific role, she's the regional president because LECOM has a school down in Florida as well. And, LECOM is growing, has grown, and so it designates her as the president of the
Aren't they in
area.
Elmira or something like that too? Or
New York.
Somewhere in New York. Yeah.
We do have we have a rural health clinic in New York as well. So I work directly for her, and so rather than calling me the director of business and workforce development, I am the regional director for business workforce development. And what that means, as you probably know, and it's becoming more and more apparent, the need for the integration of our doctors, our primary care physicians, the physical health side of healthcare and behavioral health are becoming more and more integrated. And LECOM has been working on this particular model for a really long time, predates me. And so my role, coming from where I was, understanding the need for folks who have behavioral health issues or mental illness, also have high likelihoods of a number of physical disorders. And those two things need to be integrated for the sake of efficiency and best care.
Do people understand that? Like, does the average Joe understand that along with mental illness is more than likely some kind of metabolic illness or
Amen.
some kind of...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do they understand? I think the people who who experience
yeah.
mental illness know I'm overweight, I have diabetes, I have a heart disease, I have skin conditions. But the folks, kind of the run-of-the-mill person who has a cold to go see their primary care provider, might think it's strange. Like, why do you have a counselor, or why are you talking to a psychiatrist? Right up until the issues of the world kind of start to bite.
Let me ask you my first controversial question.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So right now, primary care, your primary care doctor, your family doctor, is the first line of defense in behavioral health. They're supposed to ask you on the standard clipboard, well, how you feeling?
That's
you
right.
know,
you've had your
well,
you know,
my doc is special. We talk about everything, but but honestly,
don't write that off.
No,
that's it. That's exactly.
I mean, I'm sure he's asking me, and he's helped me. But first off, you got to ask the question. Second off, you got to look up from the clipboard and look into that person's eyes, don't you?
Oh my goodness! So we have these residents, Joel. You need to come and teach them. This is phenomenal. Absolutely. So again, celebrating Joel Natalie because of his tremendous breadth of insight about human behavior, and I mean that sincerely. Yes. Because when we were kids, of course, we saw Dr. Mork, we saw Dr. Gold.
I'm not sure Dr. Mork was like really down with my mental state.
No, like it was uncool. It was kind of an uncool thing to talk about when we were kids.
Yeah.
But yes, because and if for no other reason than this reality, there are some large percentage of persons who are on psychotropic medications. Not to over exaggerate what that word means, but things like for depression and sadness or anxiety.
What's an example? What would be a famous name?
Prozac.
Okay.
Everybody knows Prozac.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there's so many people who take or could take Prozac, and there are so few psychiatrists.
Right.
How could you possibly see a psychiatrist? How could every person who has a bout of through depression or a divorce?
So like event-based trauma almost.
Even events that are you're gonna find your way through.
Yeah.
You can't see psychiatrists. There's just not enough.
Not enough time.
So you go see your family doctors, and they write 80% of the psychotropic medication prescription.
So not just to take the edge off.
80%
of the big stuff.
80% of the people who are on medicine for some kind of emotional problem get them from their docs. That's right.
Wow. Okay. So what kind of training do our family docs get in behavioral health?
So Dr. Mork is still alive.
I don't know.
If Dr. Mork, and to his family, I apologize.
And we love him. We loved him.
Dr.
But
Mork
it was a different day, right?
And I guarantee you, towards the end of his career, he probably did right.
The family story is that Dr. Mork saw bite marks on me.
Yes.
And he's like, where'd you get those? My brother.
It was a different kind of behavioral intervention.
Yes, it was. Yeah, he yelled at my brother.
Yeah, he did more than that. So, so what training do they have is, our niece, she went through medical school. She did her rounds through all of the specialties. And then she decided that, she liked being a hospitalist. That was, her gig. I think she liked the ER. I think she chose being a hospitalist. So they have a little bit of experience, and that's about it. But my doc, Brad Fox, who I love dearly, he has seen, I don't know how many kids he sees, families. He's got the whole family. He's got all the adults. You can't be Brad Fox, who's I think 95 years old now.
No, he's not.
No, Brad, you're not 95,
Holy
brother. You
smokes.
look good. You look good.
He
Brad.
looks great.
But you can't have practice for that long and not learn.
Yeah. He's learned.
And they don't mess around generally. There are some docs who have a lot of confidence in their care management. They don't mess around with the big drugs. But the stuff like Prozac has been around for 50 years.
So they kind of know what it's going to do.
And they take it easy. And they all know, I think I have surpassed my skill level, which is where we come in. Where psychiatry, begins to either take over Or what we're doing at LECOM is introduce this idea of a co-care management model, collaborative care, where
What does that mean?
psychiatry provides consultation to primary care.
Okay.
So that psychiatrist can consult on, say, 50 cases over the time of maybe an hour, rather than having to see those 50 cases themselves.
And that's how we kind of go after this
become more efficient.
overwhelming issue.
You got it. When it's time, we don't have the time for the psych doc to see them, but the psych doc can just make that primary care physician feel a little more comfortable. Our psychiatrists provide that kind of consultation.
When you look at our region, we have some friends that are
on me. It's okay.
Wow.
sorry,
It's
Joe.
okay.
It's going to be entertainment
This
for
is
the
going to
folks
be
at
entertainment.
home.
When you look at our region, and we've had multiple psych docs on the air here.
Oh yeah.
Are we short?
my goodness.
By half, maybe? Could
We are so blessed.
Yeah.
Because of the Freddies.
Yeah.
Because of our medical school, we have more psychiatric capacity in our region per capita than maybe anywhere in the tri-state area, including Cleveland and Buffalo.
Wow.
At one of our clinics alone, we have 23 psychiatric prescribers. Most clinics have 1 to 1.5 full-time equivalents. That is such an incredible
Yes.
blessing.
Yeah.
And again, it's the wisdom of the leadership of LECOM and the Ferrettis to have seen, like, we're going to take the bull by the horns, and we're going to train new physicians, and we graduate lots of them every year.
So there's physicians coming out of LECOM that's their specialty.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
They
we
stay.
get about 5 residents a year.
Wow.
So at any given time, we might have 20 residents in our 4-year residency. And then sometimes we get fellows that come and do either their 4th and 5th year, or their 5th year in a fellowship, in one of which is our child psychiatry.
Okay, so we mentioned primary care kind of being the front door to behavioral health care.
Yep.
Let's go to the other side of the spectrum of when you are in crisis.
Yeah.
Okay, and so LECOM just built. I used to call it Mill Creek Community Hospital.
Yes.
What's it called now?
It is LECOM Medical Center and Behavioral Health Pavilion.
Pavilion. I always get that pavilion right. And what does that look like? If you're a parent, if you are a spouse, what is an emergent situation behavioral health wise look like?
Yeah. The easiest answer is, and it comes right out of our Bible, the DSM-5. It says when all of your abilities and your capacity and your skills have surpassed or are overshadowed by the problem, you're probably in the middle of a crisis. And so for kids, especially when parents have tried to introduce all the different behavioral interventions they can, and that child is not responsive, or when parents lack the skills to intervene in a way that might be meaningful for the child and divert them from some other behavioral outbursts, usually that's when we end up getting a visit to our ER.
Would you say, as a practitioner in all your years of experience, is that it's okay to call 911?
Oh, geez, yeah.
Don't. If in doubt, make the call.
That's right. Right up the street, we have. I can't say enough about our community.
Yeah.
And we should never stop saying so much about our community. Right up the street, for a period of time, Joel, we had a 201 unit, which is a section of the Mental Health Procedures Act, which is section 201 is when you go to the hospital voluntarily. Well, that stuff costs money to have the EPD have the 201 unit.
So they would roll.
They roll, and they were skilled in talking to people and helping them see maybe you should take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Well, we lost funding for that. and the EPD had to, lose that car. Well, they just implemented it again. So there's this investment by our mayor and by our county to make sure that car and the trained officers are still there. And of course, the folks up at Safe Harbor still do all the crisis work, and they're phenomenal at that. But yes, at some point, you make a call and you say, I need help. And these amazing officers who are skilled, Mill Creek, our state police force, and of course Erie, do everything they can to divert that person from the hospital. And when it's time, they either assist them involuntarily, or the person can see that this is a crisis and are willing to join the police and getting themselves up to our hospital.
Wow. And again, you have that inpatient care or that emergent care, and then also the long-term inpatient, right?
That's right. We have the in the state, we have I think it's the 11th largest inpatient capacity. So that's taking into account our health system. That's taking into account Philadelphia and Pittsburgh,
Sure.
Reading, and so on.
We got this dilemma here, Jeff, where we're still experiencing population loss.
Yeah.
And so when you're trying to, have enough skilled labor to pull off like what LECOM does every day, which is all these hospitals and rural health clinics and, just keeping the buildings clean. There's a lot of buildings.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
So time. Yes. From the folks who make sure that the impression that you get is a good one to the folks that are making the most difficult decisions, it is a massive, massive undertaking.
So how do you attract people to come to Erie, Pennsylvania to, let's say, teach, organic biology? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I love that. Organic biology, right?
Hey, it's got to be something like that, right?
Sure. I'll have to ask my son. We take this for granted, Joel, but Erie's like the perfect collision of worlds in the best way. So you have, I believe it's 4 universities, plus a community college. You've got 3 hospital systems. You've got what are they? The 5th largest metropolitan area, or something like the 6th largest county.
Yeah.
And so there's these things that happen organically in this community. And these are the things that make you frustrated when you hear people, talk poorly about Erie, and you say, without even trying, there are people who are like-minded, who believe in this community, and are making investments. So, for instance, nobody is paying the Ferrettis to continue to build. No one is paying the Ferrettis to put a pharmacy in Albion.
Right.
Right? That little community lost their one pharmacy, and Dr. Ferretti said, I think we need to invest and build a pharmacy for them. Lo and behold, the mayor's there. I'm having this wonderful conversation, and by the way, you got to get him on the show. He's a beautiful man who you could just feel the love for his community. And I said, Mayor, I appreciate you. And he goes, well, we just appreciate your investment and willing to invest in us.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's not just us. I mean, it's right across the street, right? It's the building that you're in. So there are folks who really, just like we started our conversation today, deserve to be applauded for their investment in our community. You're one of them, Joel, who take stuff that they really don't need to and make it beautiful.
Yeah.
So how do we attract them? That happens organically. What we don't do, and probably could, is we don't do it as much as we should on purpose together.
The intentionality is missing.
Yeah. So I will say, like, Boo Haggerty.
Yeah.
This guy is amazing. Brings communities together. The UPMC health system invests into the community as well. So again, you have this massive UPMC health system investing in our community. You have the LECOM health system through the Ferrettis investing in our community, and then there's all the for-profit folks who are doing it as well.
Right.
They and Gannon and Mercyhurst
and
Penn
AHN,
State, and AHN, all are bringing folks in.
Mm-hmm.
And if we, the rest of us, folks that will never leave Erie, do our jobs right, we go, you are welcome to be here and be transplanted. That's what happened to Cassie. That's why, we have one of the brightest leaders in our community who's running the largest kids behavioral health service system. She's not from Erie.
Yeah.
But she stayed because she fell in love with it.
So. Right. It's, I love how you say it, like, there's intentional efforts, but it's not necessarily bounded together as a strategy.
That's right. Not as well as it could be. And
right.
That takes
the strategery of it all.
This is one of the things, Joel, that I love about what you do from a mission perspective. People don't, whether they like it or not, when they come to visit you, they are becoming part of the fabric because you are weaving them into it.
Right.
They may be thinking they're coming to talk to you about what their gig is, but you're actually teaching them about the other gigs that are going on that are aligned with their own. And I guarantee you people leave their interviews thinking, I should think about what Joel said.
Yeah.
The introduction you just made to me is a perfect example.
Sure. I appreciate that.
Plus, you're a good-looking man.
Well, thank you. Somebody said, I'm not used to you not having a big beard, because I had the beard for Prince of Egypt. Yeah. And I think there's fits and starts with this. You got to give credit to Infinite Erie, what Kim Thomas is doing, and
Mary
so
Beulah,
on.
yep.
Mary Beulah, they're conveners, right?
That's right.
But we do have way too many silos, and if you look on it purely on an economic development standpoint, and you look at best practices in other communities, we're not there yet.
It is so hard. I am born and raised because of how we were raised and because of my professional training to be an expert in systems. My job is meant to help bring people together so that they can understand one another better and be more efficient. And Joel, it is hard to do. Yeah. And it's not even, forget about egos and stuff. It's just hard to do.
I think about the Zoom calls that you've been on. I think it's hilarious.
Quickfill gasoline is made right here in America. United Refining Company, who operates Quickfill, refines its gasoline from North American crude oil in Warren, Pennsylvania. When you buy United Refining Company gasoline at Quickfill, you keep jobs and businesses in America. And you keep American families strong. You don't need to send your money overseas when you buy gasoline. Buy American-made gasoline at Quickfill. Quickfill, driving America.
You have been called
to do good,
to feed the hungry,
to love with action, to be a light in the darkness,
to love your neighbor,
to teach wisdom,
to walk humbly,
to love mercy,
to care for the least of these.
Will you accept the call? This is our city.
Our mission.
Visit eriecitymission.org/volunteer to accept the call today.
They have that gorgeous facility up there, both at the hospital and also, at really a lot of their different locations.
The campus, the
campus itself
has been really nicely developed.
Yeah,
and continues to be developed with the senior living center and of course the gym that everyone loves.
I remember years ago, running into folks that were interns, they were like first years or whatever. It's like, how did you find Erie? And they do. Yeah. I mean, it's like, hey, this was my number one.
They choose our university here, our college.
It's amazing. I want to pivot because, many moons ago, you had a program called Erie Kids.
Sure did.
And how many movies did you end up making?
We ended up doing 3.
Yeah, and I was the star in all of them.
You were.
I was Dr. Feelgood.
That's right.
I was handing out my own advice. I didn't hand out any actual meds, but
happy medicine.
It was happy medicine, providing advice with Nurse Penelope, who was played by our niece. You're very passionate about families and children's child development. Talk about where that comes from. Again, you're the youngest of 8.
Yeah.
Old school family,
A moment ago we were saying, how does a primary care physician know what to do with, around psychiatric need? Well, how does a poor fat Italian kid learn anything about family therapy, and I benefited from having 7 siblings and the most amazing mom and dad teach me about family. It was uncorrupted. It was our values were not. They were so generalized, some Eurocentric type of values. It was just about really things about loyalty and being kind and those sort of things. So that was a grounding. And then, of course, being in theater. I think being in theater is like should be a prerequisite if you want to be a counselor. You're just going to learn how to be this other thing when you're being a therapist. And then
best role for him, he was Puck in Midsummer Night's Dream.
Boy, I could still probably deliver it.
And you were what? Weren't you the fiddler on the Fiddler on the Roof?
No. I went from this long monologue to I didn't speak.
Right, because you were just a fiddler. That's funny.
But that's it. I think the way we grew up made us all ready to be public servants.
It's I think about work ethic, right? And then we certainly learned that from our parents. But the modern take on that is it's dumb if you work hard. You got to work smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like to work smart. I like to use the tools, right? I mean, I'd be silly not to. But also, I notice that my productivity and my best work comes from when I am really under it and I have to focus, right?
Interesting, yep. That happens to a lot of people.
It's like, okay.
The deadline's right in
front. Yeah,
the
deadline is in front of me, and so I make it happen.
That's right. And I do think that there have been generational shifts in how people, what priorities people have and what values people have around this idea of hard work or dedication and those sort of things. And I do think those get mixed up. I think the value, this value of whether it's putting in the hard work with your family or putting in hard work on the job or putting in hard work with your friends or your marriage, those are universal values. I think that people have become a bit confused about this idea of being smart versus hard. All things that are good require commitment, and commitment inherently is hard.
Yeah. Interesting. You were pretty controversial. I remember the newspaper wrote a story about your take on technology. You didn't allow your kids to have a phone until you remember that? Yeah.
Oh,
and we followed you, Jeff. I mean, because I thought it was really good advice. I mean, certainly, my son not getting a phone until 16 was more of a matter of the where the technology was. Sure. But my daughter didn't get anything until the end of 8th grade is when she got her phone, and it was so that she could put her girlfriend's numbers in her phone. But there were kids in that school that had phones at 4th grade, and now they have them at kindergarten.
Absolutely do.
How is that still as dangerous as it's ever been, right?
Yeah, and even though we have the technology to protect kids through their digital screen time, it is dangerous. And that was the first time I got basically booed off the stage ever when I did a presentation. Boy, were people mad at me. And not something that I'm proud to have been right about.
Right.
But I think I was right. I think, and I do think that continues to be a struggle. And with that said, there are still these base fundamental values that really are kind of the elixir to pretty much all of the problems that we have. Our problem really probably isn't cell phones or iPads, or it really is what is the thing that's balancing that in terms of the parental involvement or the guardianship involvement and moral, not from a religious perspective, but just what do you believe in, what are your values, and how that's being presented and educated and reinforced with with kids. I think that is really kind of what we're up against. Otherwise, you could have a kid who has a phone, and if there's the strength of your family, the phone's just really meaningless. You know?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about building strong families. What are some key success factors, I guess? I mean, we used to say, quality time. No, actually, quantity. Don't.
Yeah, right. Don't push that off.
Yeah.
That quantity is valuable. It is being present. Being present.
That means mom and dad put the phone down.
Yeah, or they're around. There was an article I wrote probably 25 years ago called "Parent Over the Shoulder," and that was with a POTS or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like a an acronym that kids would say POTS, Parent Over the Shoulder, to say that they couldn't talk anymore, right? And what I was saying is, you need to be over their shoulder. You don't necessarily have to be in their business, but you have to be around. And I'll give you an example, and this may not apply well, but it scared the heck out of me, and it fits. I was on my way home from golf yesterday, and there was 2 little kids on scooters, and they went riding across McCreary, just bolted right across, and I almost ran them over. And they were little,
wow.
And I would say 7 little, right across the street. And I thought, oh my God, I could have taken the lives of these 2 children, and I immediately thought, where are their parents?
Yeah.
Now they had helmets on. That was good. That was some forethought. But really knowing where your kids are at, being present in their lives, there is a lot that I think that parents leave children to raise themselves. A lot of issues and moments where parents do that, and really what we need them to do is to recognize that those first 18 years, there is no other parent but you.
Right.
You are it. No one else is going to raise your children. So.
Yeah. There's that concept, and then there's the other side of the helicopter parent, right, where you're trying to mitigate all risk.
Right. And then you end up with kids that sometimes feel a little entitled, right? And they show up on YouTube or something.
Show up on YouTube.
No, I everyone can use support in getting a reality check for, is the way I'm doing this smart, or am I going to get myself and my kids in trouble?
Do you think that a lot of parents feel isolated, even, again, as well connected as we are?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the decline of church and of third things, things that belong to, things that are bigger than themselves. By getting out of a lot of that, you don't have that community, and then you feel alone and isolated. And so you might have all the money that you need, you might have the decent house, and the kids go to a decent school, yet your cells are in crisis. You're feeling very alone.
It's funny because kids still know how to come together and have a social group, and somehow us adults have kind of lost that.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally agree. What are the institutions that are left that bring people together in a healthy way? I'm not talking about the corner bar. I'm talking about church.
Yeah.
What are the institutions that are left that bring people together where you go, oh, okay, I see how you're handling your kid. Maybe I should try that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you have also, again, as generations are turning, you do have, mental health. Yep. With adults.
That's right.
And I think it was you guys teaching me and Cassie teaching me, put that mask on yourself before you try to put it on your kid.
Absolutely.
And that really applies when you're dealing with crisis or dealing with issues.
Our psychotherapists, all of our clinical team, deal with some of the most tragic circumstances. And yes, we believe strongly in making sure that we do self-care. But that institution that might have been, Montedoro,
right,
100 years ago, now is places like LECOM where you can go and you can feel safe in a psychotherapist's office. We are the new extension of the family.
Yeah. The as far as when you have either like a problem child or maybe it's an ill child, right? I mean, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that special child? Maybe the kids don't like him, or her, I mean, how do you navigate all that?
Yeah, I don't know. There are, Joel, there are just some people that just have the strength of Job, and they just can do this stuff on their own.
Yeah.
I don't know many of them. I've met maybe one or two in my career.
Yeah.
But you nail it every time that we talk. You cannot be in this world alone. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Some people choose to be in this world alone, but you shouldn't be in this world alone. Whether that is your pastor or your next door neighbor or whatever, wherever you can find that companionship, sometimes, again, it is a more formal support like a psychotherapist or a family therapist. It's okay. Like, don't do this world by yourself. Don't do it. It's too difficult. We are lucky, you and I, because we had the things that really everyone deserves to have, but not everyone gets. There are people like me that I am proud and humbled to be able to be that for someone else, because I got it for free.
Right.
I'm getting it for free right now with you.
Huh.
And Shani, even though she only voted 5 times.
Yeah, Shane, I thought you were more of a patriot than that, but it's just a joke.
She's a super voter.
She's
For
a
those
super
of you who
voter,
are hating on Shani right now, I want to say something to you. She's a super voter. She gets a.
I may not vote the way you wanted me to vote.
I don't even
She's
care.
got
She
the
votes.
sticker.
She shows up. She has a postcard that she gets. You're a super voter.
That's right.
Let's talk about social media.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like this monster that has taken over. So you add the technology of the phone, where we're basically self-medicating by scrolling through reels. My favorite is the hoof cleaning. Hoof GP.
I knew we were.
And
we're
Nate
brothers.
the Hook guy.
Nate the Hoof guy.
Yeah.
But the Hoof GP, when I was in Scotland,
He's Scottish.
I reached out to him before
Did you
Jen and I
really?
went because I wanted his autograph.
He's got like probably 6 million followers.
He's a hoof influencer.
He's a hoof influencer. She can't understand it at all.
No, I don't follow. I don't know what the attraction is, but
It is amazing because we're city boys. Grew up on 18th Street. I didn't see a cow until like I was 16. So the idea that this guy goes in and cleans hooves. Anyway, beyond all that, I mean, there's toxicity. There's absolute meanness on social media, and there's some fun things of keeping up with your relatives and your friends and so on. Do you have any advice for handling that? I mean, especially if it's like, I think we're even beyond the idea of comparison. Maybe that still goes on, but
yes,
I don't know.
It does. Here's the reality. Remember when we were kids, like everybody was going to grow up and be a basketball pro?
Right.
You're going to grow up now and be an influencer.
It's insane.
Everybody's going to be an influencer because you're going to make $5 million in 5 months. Again, none of these things are bigger than parents. None of them. The whole goal here as a parent is to say, boy, that is funny, and it is cool that guy, cleans hooves, and he's got millions of influencers. But let's really concentrate on the things that our family believes in, that are valuable. You have that attention for maybe the first 10 to 12 years of a person's life, of your child's life, and then it gets harder. So what these parents ought to be doing is they need to be ingraining their children with their values. Then all of a sudden, Nate the Hoof guy is just. It's just
so
a fun video to watch.
you're basically putting it in its right place.
Yeah. If that it becomes,
but it sounds like it's important, and I know it is, that you've got to come up with what are your values yourself. You need to be be doing the self work of saying, okay, this is what I believe.
What do I believe in?
What do I believe in? This is what are the non-negotiables in my life?
What a good observation, Joel.
Well, I mean,
I presume that people know what they are, but I'm wrong.
But you could probably cut out on 5, and I don't want you to mention them, but there's probably 5 people in your life that are so emotionally stunted. Yeah. It's like they're in 7th grade.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm sorry, I shouldn't make fun, but that's what Jen would say.
Jen would say, Jeff.
I'm digging the hole. I'm digging the hole, Joel.
Get out of your...
Yes.
Get out of your middle school emotion.
They have stopped growing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet you need to be influenced in a whole other way. And I love saying this. One of the greatest traits of a solid person is the ability to be open to influence. And again, not talking about Nate. I'm talking about the people in your life who love you. Like, you cannot escape. None of us can escape that question. When you're asked the question, who in your life really loves you? Everybody knows. They know.
Yeah.
Right? That's the person who should be influencing you. And hopefully that person is your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, whatever, your spouse, your children. Those are the people we want to lean into. And yes, we want all of them to know what their values are, what they believe in. And if they don't, then we got lots of people who are willing to help them find them,
Wow. So beliefs, values, they're the essential foundations for navigating life. What's that?
That you build. That is the foundation that action is built upon.
Yeah.
What your whole belief system is. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. And if that is corrupted, doesn't mean you don't have a shot. It just means you're going to probably need some help finding them.
Are you still in private practice at all, or
not in private practice? I help people find their care.
Okay, so you're redirecting folks. Yeah, it's funny when I'd go around and remember, mental health and whatever and counseling, that used to be not taboo, but it was like you kept it on the down low. Yeah. Oh, he's seeing somebody or she's seeing somebody.
Yeah.
With my brother, even 10, 15 years ago, my brother Jeff, it's like, oh, are you related to Jeff? My daughter got so much help from him, be at the bank, And people didn't care.
Shout it out. Yeah.
Shout it out, man.
Jeff Natalie is my therapist. You were like, really?
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, brother.
Thanks so much for coming on.
It is my pleasure. And Shani, you bring my heart such warmth.
Well, thank you.
She does. She's a warm, joyful person, and we really appreciate her very much. And she can sing like a son of a gun. Thanks, Jeff. Thank you, Shani.
You've been listening to The Joel Natalie Show, Erie, Pennsylvania's daily podcast from TalkErie.com. Subscribe to our show on your favorite podcatcher and get involved by emailing joel@TalkErie.com.